Welcome to my channel where dolls dwell. Today I thought I'd do a video of my MFDs, my most favoured dolls. At one time or another they've all featured, most of them have gone on journeys and trips with me, and if they've been my companion, they've all got their own wardrobe. Some have been sort of retired, I guess, from the daily travelling, and some still go with me on a regular basis. So I'm going to introduce them individually, one by one. And I might start with the smallest and work my way up. Now from left to right we've got Henry, Emily, Peggy Sue, Lewis and Robin, the bigger dolls. And then the very front, the two little ones, we've got Little Miss and Nancy, little Nancy Ann. Then we've got Kiwi Cindy behind her, Hazel. We've got little Madeline, and we've got Hitty Madge, and we've got Wren. So yeah, they're a great bunch, and I really, these dolls are my most favoured dolls, definitely, without a doubt. I love obviously all my dolls, but these ones have, for some reason or another, really struck a chord with me. And interestingly, all of them, but I guess probably two, Wren and Hazel, were TLC dolls that needed a little bit of tender loving care. And I think when you have to do a bit with them, you tend to become quite attached to them. Well, I certainly have anyway. So we'll start with the littlest and we'll have a look at her. So this is my little childhood doll. She's a perfecta doll, and she used to have nicer hair than this, but she had to be washed quite extensively because if I remember rightly, my sister drew on her. She drew on about 3 of my dolls with pen, and my mum had to really wash and scrub them. So and I'm pretty sure she was one of them. That's why her hair's gone a bit funny. I do have a different one like her with normal hair, but obviously she's not my Little Miss. It took me many years to make her a full wardrobe. She tended to be without clothes for quite some time, and I do believe I've shown her in one of my videos, so I will try and remember to attach that video below in the description box. So that's Little Miss. She has a little wardrobe of clothes. She's wearing this autumnal dress, and she's been back to New Zealand with me. She started life in England, and she's been to New Zealand, and then back here, and then back to New Zealand, and then back here. So she has featured in a few of my travel stories. And then my little Nancy Ann doll has been quite a travel companion of mine. She's been quite a few places as well. Unfortunately, on one of the last trips she made, her left arm broke off, and it wasn't the type that you could she wasn't elasticated, so she didn't have strings. It was actually a joint that sticks into the arm socket. Unfortunately, it broke, so her arm now has very limited movement, but at least she's got an arm. This one can still move. So she's been essentially retired from travelling now. So she's wearing this little hand-knitted dress that I also made. And then we have Madeline, or Madeline. So she was my Instagram name for quite a long time, Rose Cottage Madeline, until I changed it to match my channel, Where Dolls Dwell. And she's also wearing a hand knit, and she has her own little wardrobe. She's been to New Zealand. She's travelled with me to various different places within the UK as well, and she was a travel companion for a while. I had a little house set up for her on one of my shelves with her sort of kitchen and dining room and lounge and bedroom, but she doesn't have that anymore, so she just tends to stand on the shelves with these two girls. Okay, and then we have Hitty Madge, who I made myself, and I think pretty sure I've got a playlist for her too. So again, any dolls I've got playlists for, I will put, or videos for, I will put in the description box below. So she's wearing an outfit I've made, a dress, a reversible apron, and she's got like little autumn leaves on her dress. So yeah, so that's Hitty Madge, and she always goes everywhere with me. She has her own travel pouch, and she's pretty much always in my bag, even if she doesn't always see the light of day. And I guess in a way I put her in the wrong order. She probably should have gone in between before Madeline, really. And then next up, if we're going height wise, will be Wren, which of course everybody knows. Now she's the only one today that's not wearing something I've made, which is unusual because most of Wren's clothes are clothes I've made. But this dress was made by Cheryl of Bella's Doll Clothes, and the sweater was knitted from, oh gosh, a lady on Etsy who I don't think does them anymore. Can't remember her name. It starts with M, but it's escaping me at the moment. So yeah, that's Wren. And then we have my lovely wooden bluette doll, which was hand carved by a friend of mine in, oh gosh, can't remember the country at the moment. Anyway, she's hand carved from wood. She's a jointed bluette type doll. She's wearing a dress I've made. She's wearing shoes and socks that my friend made, and I always feel very lucky of the day I was able to adopt her, because I watched her being carved online, and yeah, I never thought she would be mine. So she's a very special doll in my collection. She hasn't been travelling with me, although she has featured in quite a few photos, and she does have her own wardrobe of clothing, and that's quite extensive as well, actually. And then we have, let's move them to the side a bit so I've got room. We have Kiwi Cindy, who actually went missing the other day. I couldn't find her for ages, and I had to look on my photos to see when I last featured her, which was in May and June. And then I realised it was because she was hanging out with the Makey dolls, and she was hidden beside one, and I kept looking on that shelf, but I didn't see her, and then suddenly I saw her, so that was good, because I was a bit worried about where she might be. She's wearing a knitted outfit that I made. It's a skirt and a top and a hat, and I got her in New Zealand in a second-hand charity shop in Huntley, and she was quite a mess, but she's definitely my favourite Cindy, without a doubt. And that's Simon playing with his toys. Right, I will pause this for a minute because I'll need to probably raise the camera a bit to show you the bigger dolls. Now we have Dear Henry, who's been my travel companion for many years. He's been all over the world with me. He has been to the Olympics, he's been to Germany, France, Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, and America and Canada. So he really has been around the world, as well as all sorts of National Trust and English heritage properties in England. He has his own blog called Holidays with Henry. He used to have dolls come to stay with him, and we used to take them round, and I used to do photo stories with them and things like that, but I don't do that anymore. He hasn't been away for quite some time because, well, we haven't been away for quite some time. I really loved his hair when I got him, but it was falling, and gradually over the years, due to use, he lost all his hair, and I had to get him rerouted, and I've never quite got to grips with his new hairstyle. I don't know, it just doesn't quite feel like Henry anymore, so I don't know if that's partly why he doesn't get to go out so much, but he's obviously still the same doll, and I do love him dearly, but yeah, I need to start doing more with him again. He feels a bit neglected. He's wearing a jumper that was knitted for him by a Sasha person, and she knitted it especially for him. He's wearing jeans I made. He's wearing shoes by a lady called Jean Jensen, who's sadly no longer with us, and he's got a kids and cats shirt on, and he's got a newsboy cap that I knitted with some New Zealand wool. Okay, and then we have Emily. Emily was a travel companion with Henry for a while. She went to Germany with me, and she's wearing a beautiful autumnal dress by a lady called Kath Barnett, who lives in Australia. She's a ponytail Gots Sasha doll, so she's from the late 60s, and well, probably mid to late 60s really, actually. And yeah, she was a waif as well. She's got a bit of scar on her, but I just absolutely adore her. So that is my Emily. Another one that probably needs no introduction is my dear Peggy Sue, who's a show and hut Miss Dolly, who's had she had so much overpaint on her that she had to be stripped because it was just so thick you couldn't see any of her features. So I stripped her back to the bare wood, and at the time I knew nothing about painting dolls, so you know, her face paint isn't the best, her wood on her face had been heat scorched, so unfortunately it's not clear. She's got like bruises on her, I call them. She's well loved. She's over 100 years old, so you know, you can't expect too much. And I got so used to her face that I couldn't imagine her looking any other way now. So that's Peggy Sue. She's wearing a dress that I knitted for her quite a number of years ago, and these lovely leather shoes, which I think came from Etsy, and just a standard pair of socks. And then we have her brother, I guess it is, called Lewis. He's older than Peggy Sue. He has all his original paint, even scars and all, and he is wearing a pair of shorts that I made, socks that I made, shoes made by one of the Schoenhut ladies on my Schoenhut group. He's wearing a tank top or vest that I knitted of ours, and he's wearing a little shirt that I think I got that for one of the Sasha lads at one stage, but it suits him and it suits this outfit. So that is Lewis. And then lastly, my last most favoured doll is my wonderful Robin, my American Girl doll. And I'm probably going to stand her up in a minute actually to show you her full outfit. But yeah, so she was definitely a waif, and there was a little bit of problems getting her because the delivery company weren't delivering. Oh, there was all sorts of problems, but the lady who sold it to me was so lovely. She sent lots of clothes with her, and a couple of extra gifts, and yeah, I'm just so thrilled with this doll, and I was so pleased with the purchase. And so she has started to get quite a wardrobe of clothes because she is currently definitely my MFD. She's always with me. My granddaughter has enjoyed dressing her as well, and she is currently wearing a big long scarf. I'm going to stand her back and I'll show you the things, so it'll be a bit easier. So yes, I'm working on an autumnal wardrobe for Robin, and I made the scarf, and I didn't plan on making it quite this long, but you will see the logic behind it in a minute. So obviously I started out making it, and then because it's variegated wool, I decided I wanted the pattern repeat to look even, so I have made it so it is even. So it's a nice long scarf that she can twist around her. I knitted her coat and the matching hat. Now the hat was supposed to have been knitted on double the wool, but because I didn't think I'd have enough, although as it turns out I probably would have had plenty, I decided to knit it singly. It would have been a lot stiffer if I'd knitted it with double wool, but it is what it is, and I still think it's nice. I've put a little autumn leaf on there. So this is the coat, and then underneath she has got a sweater, which does up at the back with buttons, and it matches the wool. The scarf matches the scarf, and she's also got a separate hat, which, where have I put the hat? I'll go and see if I can find it. And there's the hat that goes with the sweater and the scarf. I made her trousers, or pants as you call them in the USA, out of a pair of I think they were actually my daughter-in-law's uniform for the when she worked on cruise ships with my son. So they're either my son's or my daughter-in-law's. I think they were my daughter-in-law's. So I've used that to upcycle a pair of very simple trousers, but I think they look really good. So I'm pleased with those. And yeah, her wardrobe's growing. At some stage I'll do a video of Robin's autumnal wardrobe. So that is my most favoured dolls, my MFDs. And yeah, I love them all very much. They're very special to me. So there they all are. I hope you've enjoyed this video featuring them dressed in their autumnal wear, and I will try to leave links in the description box below of other videos I've done if they are specifically for the particular doll that I talked about that's in this group. As I say, Wren's probably the main travel companion now, along with Hitty Madge, who just goes everywhere regardless of whether she comes out for photographs or not. Henry wants to get back into it. Peggy Sue's been with him on holiday quite a bit as well, and she's been to New Zealand too. She's been to America as well. So's Ren, actually. So yeah, they've all been around a bit. I don't tend to travel anymore for various reasons. So whether they'll ever get to go overseas again, I don't know. But certainly they will get to travel within this country at some stage. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to know anything more, please feel free to leave a comment in the description box below and ask questions. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and subscribing, and also feel free to share my videos. So yeah, thanks for watching. We'll catch you again another time. Bye for now. And I just forgot to say that I will be showing some of my other dolls dressed in autumn clothes over the next week or two, hopefully, if I can get my act into gear. I seem to be very busy with the dogs a lot of the time, and I still want to get back to work on the front of the folly because I'd like to get that done over the next month, hopefully. So yeah, again, thank you for watching. Bye. And here's a couple of my monsters, my two monsters who've been helping my video by sitting on the backs of my legs. Well, Peter's been sitting on the backs of my legs, and Simon likes to try and get very close. Yep. Yeah, leave them alone. That's it. Little monkeys they are. Little monkeys.